Hey guys, it's the Comics Kid, and welcome back to our life. For this video, I think I'm gonna do, Sandcastle. I don't know, it's just really calling out to me, so, fuck it, Sandcastle. Cove wasn't able to do many things that summer. When him, and Shiloh sat out on the shoreline one bright morning, you could tell he wanted to be in the water. But there was no way he'd be swimming anytime soon, not with his cast. The waves washed up a single shell to shore, glittering and blue. Another reminder of the place he couldn't go. From what you'd heard about Cove's old life so far, in tiny pieces and fragments, you could tell that he'd do anything to be able to get that cast off. Like, make a pact with a witch or something, just to get it off his arm. What did Cove do to, like, break his arm so bad? Okay. I've never broken a bone in my life, so I've never had to, like... The only, like, bone I've really broken was, like, my nose. Story time. I was 6? 7? I was out at my grandparents' place, and my aunt was, like, showing me how to climb a tree, and I was like, I climbed the tree, I was having fun, I was running around the backyard and stuff, and I was on the certain branch, and I was, like, bouncing up and down, like, I was, like, going, like, sitting on it, but, like, bouncing up and down like it was, like, a horse type of thing. But then, like, I bounced up and down, and then as I was coming back down, the whole thing shifted with me, and I was like, uh-oh. It literally was, it, like, moved, paused, broke, like a cartoon, where you could literally just go, uh-oh, crack! And I was, like, making noise and, like whooping and hollering, and so when I stopped, my whole family turned to me, and they could see that it cracked, and they were like, uh-oh, and they moved towards me. No one was able to catch me, but I landed face first onto the ground, and that, like, exploded, like, I had, like, the bloodiest nose. Like, it, like, like, the only way I can really describe this is, like, a blood grenade. Like, went out of, like, was detonated in my nose, and the only way, like, it was able to escape was through my nostrils. And, like, it broke. It doesn't look broken, but I swear it was broken when I was younger. But yeah, that's the only time I really had anything broken. I wasn't really... I didn't really break my arm or legs or anything when I was younger. And I don't plan to break anything now, but... You thought about his whole summer... You thought about how his summer last year must have been totally different from this, with his old home and his mom and dad. But now he was here with you and Shiloh and Lizzie and everyone else, and he couldn't even go into the sea. This town wasn't bad. It had all your favorite things in it, but sitting there on the same beach you'd grown up on, you could understand. But sitting there on the same beach you'd grown up on, you could understand that not everyone else felt the same way about Sunset Bird as you did. You watched him from the corner of your eye quietly, and he finally said aloud what you had been pondering. I wish I could go in. The water? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You're gonna be able to do it soon. Cove only sighed in response. Apparently soon wasn't soon enough. It never is. It's so pretty, the ocean. And huge. There could be anything out there, like mermaids.
Yeah.
Sure. I wish you didn't have a cast. I really don't care. I don't really care. Swimming might be fun if we could. I'm fine here on land. Mermaids aren't real. I wish you didn't have a cast. Me too. Obviously not interested in hearing much more of your input on the situation, Cove turned back to the water. But as he looked away, something about Shiloh's slow, careful movements caught his eyes. Hey, are you building a sandcastle? Sorta. I was only playing around while you were talking. I'm listening. Maybe I could, too. I've only made huge piles before. It's really nothing special. I'm sure you'll be good at it right away. Well, how do you do it then? Shiloh's cheeks lit up. You could tell he was a bit uncomfortable to have Cove's expectant stare on him. I'll play too. I love making sand stuff. I love making sand stuff. Okay. He put his hands back on his seashells and sand and nodded. I don't do a lot. Here's how I like to get a house started. Shiloh, focusing more intently than you'd ever seen him, guided Cove through his process. You happily used your own method. It didn't take long for the three of you to each have humble structures prepared. That's all, kind of. You can do anything now, like make it bigger, add some seashells, carve a pretty pattern. I bet you'll have great ideas. I'm gonna call it here. Shiloh's gonna become a sand carver. And what I mean by, I'm pretty sure that's the right terminology, but or a sand sculptor, that's probably what it is. That's probably more accurate. But a person who makes giant, sculptures out of sand on the beach. But I don't know if it's as a job or as a hobby, but something like that. He'll just become a sand sculpture. Sand sculptor.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it bigger. Mine's gonna be a real castle. Cool. This is gonna be a house. Looking at the base of your sandcastle, you decided to make... Do I be... You know what? I'm gonna be extra and weird. He's gonna have a castle, he's gonna have a house, I'm gonna have a mansion. Looking at the base of your sandcastle, you decide to design a mansion. The better part of the next hour was spent focusing on your work. The boys were the same. Oh yeah, I forgot. I made myself a girl in this because the character creation was really feminine. That's right. Even Shiloh didn't sneak as many peeks as everyone else as he usually did. You finished shaping before either of them did, glancing up from what you built. It seems you got done so fast because they already searched around for extra decorations. Shiloh grabbed most of the really interesting stuff, and Cove had a lot of shells, but there were still options. The first thing you reached for was a red bottle cap, blue seashell, green piece of sea glass. I either want the red bottle cap or the blue seashell. Red bottle cap it is. It was the best fit for your mansion, you decided. And it seemed like the lid from the sports drink that Lizzie was trying to convince your mom. And it seemed like the lid from the sports drink that Lizzie was trying to convince your moms to let her try. So you put it in a funny place where it'd take a second to look to see it. Pleased with your result, you finally took a proper look around that wasn't focused on the sand itself. Both Shove and Both Cove and Shiloh seemed super immersed still. You knew you could probably sneak a peek at either one's work. I'm gonna peek at Cove. The Sandcastle Cove had built looked really surprisingly tidy, especially for someone in a cast. He must have worked really hard. He wasn't even finished digging the huge gaping moat in front, but it was still already enormous. You got the sense from the enthusiasm he was digging with the doctor was probably going to find a bunch of sand when he finally removed that pink plaster. The silence was then broken. What's on top of yours, Shiloh? You peeked closer and discovered something shiny sticking out of Shiloh's sand chimney. Oh, it's a gum wrapper. It looked more like smoke.
Neat.
That's good. Smart idea. Yeah. You should become an architect. You'd be good at it, Shiloh. Shiloh smiled without a word. And that was that for the current topic. Bill, can I see what you did? Sure. You scooted just a bit nearer and he scooted just a bit nearer and began surveying your work. All you really knew about mansions was that they were supposed to be big, so you'd gone really big. It was the size of a country club that Lizzie played golf at, compared to Cove and Shiloh's building, probably even bigger. Shiloh quickly decided to jump in the new conversation. Hey Bill, what'd you do? It's my mansion. It looks great. Your house is so big. It's not a house, it's a mansion. I really want to answer that, but I'm gonna say thanks. Thanks. You're welcome. I don't think that's the same as a house. Huh? Is being a house bad?
No.
No, but we each made our own place. Nobody is the same. I think we are. Cove raised an eyebrow at that. If something is the only one of its thing, that makes it special. Yeah, for sandcastles and stuff. People too. My dad always says how everyone is their own man, a real individual. I don't think I'm very special. What? What? The fuck you saying, Shiloh? I will strangle that fucking not bad self-talk out of you. I will strangle it out of you. I will become a real Homer Simpson with you. You better shut your ass up, Shiloh. You're fucking special. I think you are, and you better think so yourself.
Why?
Why not? Nobody else is like you. Shiloh simply shook his head. I'm not different. A beat passed between the two. Cove then looked down at his own work again. Okay. He didn't seem bothered leaving the disagreement hang there. Cove had other things on his mind. My dad tried to get me to make sandcastles the first time we came to this beach. I didn't want to. Cove trailed off. Again, there was another moment of silence. Shiloh shifted and opened his mouth to say something, but Cove spoke up before he could. You didn't think he noticed that Shiloh was going to talk, probably because he had his eyes shut. Hey, do you know what happened when your moms met my dad, Bill? Hey, do you know what happened when your moms met my dad, Bill?
I can't read for diddly squat.
I don't know why, but my eyeballs just don't want to feel fucking eyeballing.
You waited to see if Shiloh would say what he wanted to. When he didn't, you considered Cove's question. I wasn't there. They didn't tell me. I don't know. I just remembered what happened when I met your dad. Mr. Holden had been a weird stranger then. Well, he was still kind of strange. No other parent acted like him, but you knew him better at this point. Now that you thought about it, it made a lot of sense that Cove's dad talked to him about people being unique. You were pulled from your thoughts when Cove continued.
Oh,
well, I was there. I don't think my mom has ever met your dad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she hasn't. Bill's parents and my dad met the same day I met her. I'm not gonna say what happened. You're fucking alright. Shiloh frowned to himself, ducking his head. His hat cast a shadow over his face. You could still tell he was upset at not being included in Cove's choice of topic. Shiloh, sweetie, is everything okay at home? Is everything okay at home, sweetie? That was kind of boring for him, though given people their own turn to say the things they want is important too. Yeah, I think Shiloh wants to talk too. Huh? We were talking. Just not right now. I'm talking to you. You can listen. Shiloh's expression barely flickered at the words. He still looked put off. Cove continued like the interruption hadn't happened. He was determined to tell the tale. Something's up with Shiloh. I can't tell what, but something's up with Shiloh. I don't know what's up with Shiloh, but something's up with Shiloh. I just... I don't know. I'm worried for his well-being. Even though he's a video game character, I don't care. I'm worried for his little tiny child brain. When we moved here, we didn't bring a lot of things with us. Only some stuff that would fit in Dad's car. We didn't even get a moving truck. Oh, so the wife took everything. Damn. I sat in there while Dad brought it all inside. I didn't want to get out because I knew Dad would make me look around the new house. I really didn't want to do that. His lips twisted into a frown as he recalled that, and Shiloh is not happy either. Then I saw your moms. They were in a car too, and stopped at your house. I guess they were coming back from somewhere or something. My dad noticed. He waved his hand, and then went over to the front of your house where he started talking to them. I don't know what they said. I couldn't hear it. But he couldn't see me anymore since he was looking the other way. So I opened the car door and left. I wanted to get away and went behind the houses. I found those hills there, the ones where we met for the first time. Cove nodded, then stared at you. You stared back. He didn't go on to say anything more. Aren't you gonna finish your story? Cove's brow wrinkled, like he didn't understand why you were surprised.
Huh?
That's all that happened. Oh. Okay. Okay. Why did you want to tell the story if nothing happens? You really gotta get better at telling stories. That was a pretty bad story. Thanks for telling. You really gotta get better at telling stories. Cove didn't seem to appreciate the critique whatsoever. But that's how our parents met. I didn't make the story up. True stories can be good. That isn't the problem. Shiloh's mouth twisted into a scowl of disbelief, but he didn't say nothing. Why'd you bring that up, anyway? There was a slight shrug to Cove's shoulders.
Well...
I was thinking about it because of the Sandcastle. It made me remember when I moved there, Dad showed me the beach first, before we went to the car to unpack. He was really excited about it for some reason. Cove's brows furrowed a little more as he quietly raked his hands through the sand. I get it. You thought maybe Mr. Holden wasn't that excited about the beach and was instead hoping Cove might be. But the line of conversation had come to its end. Even Cove was done with it. Some other topic had popped into his head. Shiloh was fidgeting uncomfortably in the sand. Had Cove made aware of his presence again. Shiloh fidgeting uncomfortably in the sand had made Cove aware of his presence again. They looked at each other, and you could only wonder what this might be about. Hey, Shiloh. Yeah? Why are you always turning so red, even when nothing's happening? Clearly startled, he jerked back. Neither you or Shiloh had expected that to be how he got included in the conversation. Oh, God. I don't know, I guess. It's okay, it's just kind of weird. Shiloh's eyes were wide with embarrassment. His lips twitched, and he was blushing even harder than before. Maybe it wasn't only this. Perhaps it was simply the last straw, but it was a big deal to Shiloh, a huge deal. He didn't look just sad. He didn't just look sad. He seemed almost panicked. You weren't sure if he was about to cry or run away or what, but soon you got an answer. Why do you wear glasses? Most kids don't wear glasses, and nobody is named Cove. Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Who asked you to come?
It was probably just your dad bugging Bill's family some more because you don't have anyone else who will ever play with you. Fucking damn. What did Cove do? Goddamn, Shiloh! Is right. What? Cove blinked. The tension on the beach was suddenly uncomfortable in a way you didn't know how to laugh it off. It didn't seem like the kind of thing he'd get upset about, though you hadn't ever known what kind of thing would bother Shiloh. What the fuck? I am speechless. What? Shiloh, are you okay? What? Huh? I'm sorry. Me too. I was just wondering. I don't even know how to fucking proceed. Hey, let's build another sandcastle. You try playing on your own. Are we gonna build some more? You nervously messed with the sand. Yes, are we gonna build more? I don't even know. You wanna keep building sandcastles?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cove glanced at Shiloh, whose smile hadn't returned to full power, then at you. Alright. What a relief. You were glad it was settled. You all went back to making more sand buildings, but the whole mood had changed. Shiloh's cheeriness was clearly gone, and Cove looked as confused as ever about why the other boy had blown up.
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. The air stayed uncomfortable the rest of the afternoon, right up to the moment that Shiloh's mom appeared at the beach to take him home. At least you tried to do something to resolve it, though, and it seemed like it helped. Even though Shiloh's smile when you said goodbye to Cove wavered, it stayed as bright as ever for you. That had to count for something. But with Shiloh gone and the sun going down, you knew it was time for you and Cove to head to your own houses. The two of you trailed out of the park together towards the neighborhood. The walk home was quiet. You passed by familiar landmarks, shoes thumping against the sidewalk in near perfect unison. Cove was clearly caught up in thinking about something.
Hey, what you thinking, buddy boy?
Something was definitely up, so you chose to reach out to him and ask, "Hey, Cove, is everything okay? You're making a funny face."
Oh.
I was just wondering. Cove fell silent again for a few more seconds, then sighed. Why'd Shiloh act like that? When I said he was all red a lot. I don't know. Like, yes, you were kind of being rude, but like, I don't know. It's this, or this. That's the answer. Those are the answers I want to give. You were being rude to him, I guess. I don't fucking know. No, I wasn't. It looked like that to me, and it wasn't just saying that one thing. And it wasn't just saying that one thing. You're not very nice to Shiloh. I didn't mean it like that. Shiloh is kind of weird to talk to. See, that's kind of rude. I guess I can get it. Why he would do that? Sometimes I get really mad too. Despite seemingly coming to a conclusion. Can I fucking read? Cove's mood was still sour. Hey, Bill, was Shiloh telling the truth? Huh? His gaze left yours as he dug the sole of his shoe into the ground. He looked oddly vulnerable for a second. Does my dad make you hang out with me? I know he talks to your moms about that a lot. An uncomfortable weight settled on your chest at the question. You liked spending time with Cove. You didn't even have to think hard about it. You knew you did. But you couldn't help feeling guilty. Cove still doesn't know what happened when you met Mr. Holden. Nobody is making me spend time with you. Your dad does do stuff, so you'll hang out with my family, but Shiloh doesn't. But Shiloh shouldn't have said that. You decided to tell him about how you're his dad. No, nobody's making me spend time with you. Cove's shoulders relaxed. You hadn't even noticed that he had tensed up. Fucking reminder to everyone.
Relax the shoulders. Untense the muscles.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Anyway, I didn't think you were pretending. I just wanted to make sure it was okay, is all. Yeah. Thanks for telling me. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Your throat tightened. It was hard to meet Cove's earnest gaze again. Keeping secrets was hard. I mean, I actually like hanging out with Cove. It's like, it's a thing. If I was to, like, actually respond, it would have been, like, maybe, like, the first couple of times, yeah, he forced me to hang out with you, but after that, nah, I wanted to hang out with you because of you. Like, meeting new people is weird, and I'm like, I don't know how to interact with people, blah. But once I get to know you, hey, buddy boy, how you doing? It's like that type of thing. You're welcome. By now, the two of you were on the sidewalk near your houses. It was time to part ways. You hugged Cove goodbye. You stepped forward and wrapped your arms around him tightly. You turned your head, resting your cheek on his shoulder. Cove stood there awkwardly with his hands at his sides. He wasn't much of a hugger, but you didn't get the impression he was unhappy that you were. Bye, Cove. See you tomorrow. Yeah. Bye, Bill. You pulled away, then jogged towards your house. When you look back, you saw Cove making his way back home, too. As if he felt your eyes on him, he turned around. He waved. You did, too. You still felt a little unsure with what you were supposed to do about the deal with Cove's dad had offered. You didn't want to say something bad or something you shouldn't. You had no idea how Cove would take it either. It would be terrible if it made him feel bad. What if he didn't want to play with you anymore?
Yes, a secret that goes to the grave.
You might change your mind sometime. There was always tomorrow after all, but for now, it was definitely something that you'd keep to yourself. With a final look, you went inside your house. And that was Sandcastle. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. I feel like, yeah, this was a good, but I'm gonna keep going. Grown up. One sweltering summer day, you were in your living room with Cove, listening to the sounds of birds chattering outside the window while you lay across the rug on the floor. Cove's dad had dropped him off earlier, and your moms had left the two of you along with Lizzie to play amongst yourselves.
Yay. The bitch.
It had been too hot to go outside in the afternoon, at least according to Mommy. So your sister was starting to get impatient waiting for her golf class that evening. The three of you had trouble finding something fun to do. Why is it what the fuck? Typo! Something fun to do. The beach and the playground were off limits, and you felt that it was too warm for anything like playing with your fuzzy toy animals. Then a light came to Lizzie's big brown eyes, and her smile spread wide across her face. Having an idea gave her a new wave of energy.
Oh no. Since we're inside, we should be adults. They don't play outdoors anyways. They're always inside and telling everyone they're too busy to play.
Yeah, because we have jobs to do. we gotta earn money.
Why?
That's a great question. I don't know why we should play this.
Duh.
I said why, and it'll be fun.
Duh.
No, I think his question was, why should we play this? That's definitely my question. What do they do inside that we don't, besides use the phone a lot? Excluding a small huff, Lizzie decides to ignore Cove.
Fuck you, you little bitch.
What do you think?
Bill, what do you think? Do you want to do? I don't know. Cove said it. That doesn't sound fun. I bet we could come up with something else. I don't know. I want to. I don't know. That's my honest answer. I don't know. Please, Bill. When have I ever had a bad idea? Constantly. Whenever we play with you. That completely caught me off guard. Oh no! Whatever we play with you. I wasn't asking you. I'll try, but that sounds boring. Okay, I'll stay. Sorry, I have other stuff to do. You kept hesitating. You kept hesitating. You looked down at your hands, still unsure. Apparently tired of waiting for you to make up your mind. Lizzie sighed. Fine, go over there, Bill. Go play over there, Bill. You flinched from her raised voice. It definitely wouldn't be fun to join now. Yeah, that's fair. Me and Cove will do it ourselves. It's decided. He looked back at you regretfully.
I guess.
Now go on. Well, fuck. Damn, I fuck you! Nodding goodbye to the two of them, you trailed off to find something else to do. Like he promised, Cove stayed put with Lizzie for the next couple of hours while you... I'm gonna read a book. Actually, I'm gonna play Godzilla. You can hear them talking as you set up a Godzilla obstacle course of books and toy builder bricks in the hallway. Trying to chew them out, you arranged some stack of books in the middle of the room, pretending it was a city. You scattered a couple of farm animals and figurines throughout the obstacle course, making sure they were all standing upright. These were the civilians who lived in the book buildings. I never actually played Godzilla as a kid, I don't think. After setting it all up, you were ready to knock it all down again. Yeah, I don't think I ever played Godzilla. I think it was mainly just like superhero fights and then Ben 10. Like my toys were the aliens. Oh god, what? Will Turner, that's his name. I remember, like, using a Will Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean toy as, like, an alien, and, like, he was good with, like, he could, I don't remember what, but, like, he could, like, walk on water and, like, do weird stuff, because pirates. You took a couple wide steps forward, kicking a few of the toys, and pushed over the tallest stack. The destruction had begun. But it wasn't long before you heard Lizzie and Cove's voices again, and this time they were much louder. Curious about what was happening, you craned your neck to hear them better. At first, you mostly only picked up on Lizzie's high-pitched shouting, giving orders, telling Cove what to do, yelling about sports and the Olympics. That was pretty typical for Lizzie, so there was nothing new there. But then you started hearing Cove more and more as time went on. It sounded like they weren't having a very good time. Probably not. You went to see what was going on. You abandoned your horrible mess of debris to go check on what was happening with them. Hey, is something wrong? From up close, you could see that your sister was red-faced and pouting, while Cove mostly just looked confused. Neither one paid you mind.
Cove.
Shut up, Cove! You're being so unreasonable. You get what you want. This game doesn't make sense. It does! You have to be realistic! I said that! But you're not. You worried that the two of them were getting a little too angry over whatever it was. You had no idea what to do to make them stop at this point. It seemed like the two of them would keep working each other up as long as they could. Had the two of them been arguing like this the whole time? Thankfully, like a greeting card angel, Mom walked into the room. Lizzie rushed to her, hanging onto the hem of her shirt and poking out her tongue at Cove. Lizzie, Bill, it's time to get ready to go.
You alright with that?
I'm sorry you had to leave. Sorry you have to leave already, Cove. Their mommy said she'll walk you. Their mommy? Oh, ours? Fucking Jesus Christ, that took me way longer than it should have. God. Their mommy said she'll walk you home so you wouldn't be left in the cold. Cove was still glaring at Lizzie, his face flustered red with anger. I can go by myself. But, bye, Bill. Bye. There was still a harsh edge to the brief farewell, but you knew it wasn't you he was mad at. Without giving Mom a chance to stop him, Cove stood up and stalked out of the room. Is it stalked or stomped? That's supposed to be stomped. That could be stomped. Stalked out of the room, shoulders drawn tight.
Huh?
Okay. Worried, Mom turned to look down at you and Lizzie. You two were playing nice with our new friend, weren't you? You told the truth. We were playing pretend, and things got intense. They were like cats and dogs. Your sister's jaw dropped, looking betrayed as Mom put her hands on her hips. Yeah, no, fuck you, Lizzie. I do not like you. Elizabeth! I told you to be kind with him. He's having a hard time right now. Lizzie's mouth closed back up, replaced by a tiny frown. I know, I tried, but he was...
That's enough.
No buts. We both know you can show someone a great time when you put your mind to it. You're going to apologize to Cove and his dad over the phone when he gets home from work tonight. Lizzie hung her head, dragging a foot across the ground in front of her. Okay, Mom. Good girl. You caught pieces of Lizzie sulking to herself about how it was his fault too, but it was over. Right. We better get a move on. Let's go, kids. How the fuck do you say this name? Noah. Noel! Where'd you leave the car keys? Oh, hi. We're in the car. I didn't expect that. Mom hustled you all out the door, and you noticed during the car rides to golf practice that Lizzie was quieter than usual. She wasn't usually the first one to request which music to listen. She was usually the first one to request which music to listen to in the car, but she didn't say anything. Her parents noticed she wasn't in a mood to be bothered. They gave her space, and Mommy just asked you what you'd like to listen to. You picked your favorite song. It always made the car ride more fun. You chose the soundtrack to a cool movie you saw a couple months ago. You chose a song you knew Lizzie liked. Maybe that would cheer her up. Yeah, I'll choose a song Lizzie liked, I guess. I don't know. You were happy to see it brighten her up right away, and she started singing along with you. Soon enough, her bad mood was a thing of the past. When the car ride was over, you spent the twilight hour watching Lizzie hit things with other girls her age. You didn't know much about golf, but you could tell that she really liked it. Is she gonna be a professional golfer when she grows up? So you sat with your moms and tried to puzzle it out. It was nice sitting outside after being cooped up in the house all day, and you stretched out your legs to let the last few minutes of sun warm your skin. When the sun was finally out of sight, dipping behind the horizon, you all got ready to leave. Instead of going straight home, your moms took the family out to dinner. You went to a restaurant you had begun going to ever since you could remember. Earlier, you'd only caught the tail end of your sister's argument with Cove, but you could kind of tell that all of this helped Lizzie be less angry. The car ride home was quiet, with only the radio providing escape from silence. Lizzie had been in better spirits now, but the closer you got to your neighborhood, the more she wiggled in her seat and frowned out the window. She knew what was coming when you all got back home. Clearly, she was dreading it. Soon enough, Mom was turning onto your street, then reversing into the driveway. Once she cut the ignition, it was dead silent. No one spoke, only unbuckled their seatbelts and opened their doors. Lizzie was the last one out. Once everyone was inside and done taking off their shoes, she propped her hands on her hips.
So,
Now then, Mr. Holden's car is in his driveway, so he should be back from work. That's good news. That's good news, isn't it, Elizabeth? You and Cove can hash things out before the day is done. Lizzie didn't complain or put up a fight. Her head ducked so she didn't have to meet anyone's eyes. She nodded once. Good. Let's move this into the kitchen. Why do I have to sneeze? Mom went over to the house phone. The rest of you followed behind her. Mommy put a gentle hand on Lizzie's shoulder as they walked side by side. You watched them from the back. This was only happening because you told on Lizzie. I mean, yeah, duh. You did regret it. I don't regret it. You frowned to yourself, recalling how Cove had left in such a bad way. Hopefully, time and Lizzie's pending apology would raise his spirits and smooth things over between them. The four of you stood around the kitchen in a lopsided square. All eyes were on Lizzie, who kept her gaze on her fate. You remember the number for Cove's house, don't you, honey? Lizzie jerked her head in another nod, sullen. Without further prompting, she stepped forward and began to dial. Hello. Hello. Mom reached over and pressed a button on the base. Suddenly, you could hear the phone ringing. She turned it on the speaker. Oh, well, okay, well, I thought it was going to be a private phone call, not... Well, I don't want to be a part of this apology. The phone rang a couple of times, then stopped. Mr. Holden's warm voice came through the other end. Evening, Holden residents. Lizzie looked over at Mommy. Unsure, she nodded encouragingly. Mr. Holden, it's, Lizzie. Can I talk to Cove?
Absolutely.
Lizzie, Comet Kid? What a surprise! But of course you could say hey to the boy. What? Why do I have to name us this? Oh my god! He sounded cheery as usual, though definitely meant it when he said it was a surprise. You thought hard, and you were sure that your sister had never called Cove's house before. Mom spoke up before Mr. Holden or Lizzie could say anything more. Her arms were crossed over her chest, her lips pursed. Highcliffe, Noel, Bill, and I are here too. Good evening, we're sorry to bother you so late. Hi! Hi! Hi, Mr. Holton! The gang's all here, huh? Is something the matter? His what the fuck? His voice grew a bit concerned. Mommy was quick to reassure him. No, well, yes, but it's all going to be okay. Lizzie and Cove had a bit of a fight today. We were hoping that the two of them could talk and make up. Is this a good time for you and Cove?
What?
A fight? Cove didn't tell me anything about that when I came home. That does explain the funk he's been in tonight. He chuckled lightly. Despite that, it didn't seem like he really thought of it. Despite that, it didn't seem like he really thought it was funny. Anyway, it's good. You didn't catch us at a bad time. I'll go grab him for you. There was some shuffling on the other end. He must not have gone far because you could still hear him calling out.
Cove, there's someone on the phone for you.
After a beat of silence, there was more muffled talking from Cove's dad. Come on, bud. Lizzie called just so she could talk to you.
Are you sure?
Bill's on the other end listening too. Don't you want to say hi? It took a bit of back and forth, though the conversation seemed one-sided since you couldn't hear Cove properly. Eventually, Cove took the phone from his dad.
Hi.
Hello? Hey, it's Lizzie. Yeah, I know. Dad told me. Cove's tone was defensive. Lizzie turned to Mom, scowling. One stern look from her, though, and Lizzie turned away.
Sorry.
I just called to say I'm sorry for not playing nice with you today. I won't do it again. Lizzie's eyes were downcast, her voice low. You could tell that she felt uncomfortable apologizing to Cove in front of everyone. Yeah, I was not expecting to be here. I was expecting to be in my room fucking destroying the town as Godzilla. I was not expecting to be here. This was news to me. She was still being genuine about feeling bad. Cove must have realized that too, because he sighed quietly. Okay, I guess I'm sorry too. A sense of relief washed over everyone at his acceptance of the apology. I need more water, goddamn. Mom uncrossed her arms while Mommy's shoulders relaxed. Lizzie's eyebrows raised up. You wondered if she thought that he'd refuse her apology. Dad, can I get off the phone now? You couldn't see him, but it was obvious that Cove felt awkward about the situation. He had come off uncomfortable the entire time, really.
Yeah.
It's fair. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, you can go to your room if you want. Be sure to say goodbye first, though. Bye, Lizzie. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Bill. Bye! You perked up at the mention of your name. You smiled even if he couldn't see it. Bye, Cove! With that said, Cove must have handed the phone back to his dad and left, since Mr. Holton spoke up.
That's a relief.
All's well that ends well, as they say. Thanks for arranging this. I'm sure he appreciates it. As Mom replied, Lizzie tugged on Mommy's hand to catch her attention. Can I go now, too?
Good job.
Sure, sweetie. Thank you very much for apologizing to Cove. Mom flashed a brief smile at Lizzie and nodded in her agreement. Given permission to leave, Lizzie scurried off towards the stairs. She seemed to be feeling much better with the incident behind her. Mom and Mommy returned to the phone, taking it off the speaker. They continued talking to Mr. Holton. You couldn't tell what's about. You couldn't tell what's about. What about? Not what's about. You couldn't tell what about. You were glad that was all. That was the end of it all. Lizzie and Cove might not get along, and probably still won't, but they weren't mad at each other anymore. Mom and Mommy weren't upset either. Everything was finally back to normal. With that thought, you retreated to your own room with a spring in your step. Aw. Okay. I think that's gonna do it for this video. I was not expecting to do 2. I wasn't expecting to do 2, but... Or for this video to go on for this long, but Sandcastle was super short, and I was like, fuck it. Ah, no, not hiccups. Why the hiccups? Anyway, yeah, like I said, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you guys liked it, please leave a like. Hit subscribe. It would really help me become a big YouTuber starman. That is eventually what I want to become in life, and that is currently what I'm working towards. Ring the bell for notifications to see any future video, any future videos of our life being released, or any other videos that I release as well. Our Life Beginning and Always is an active series that I'm still going through. Some other active series that I'm still going through are Minecraft, League of Legends, Among Us, Undertale, and I have 5 Try Not to Laugh challenges. Some finished playthroughs and one-offs that I've done are Bendy and the Ink Machine, Ib, Princess Nom Nom, Doki Doki Literature Club, and Tukoni. So with that, I will see you guys in the next issue. See you!